If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. When the Cleveland Browns decided to draft Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round of the NFL Draft, a wave of excitement rippled through some fans who immediately peg him as the future face of the franchise. However, that initial excitement overlooked a crucial detail. Sanders wasn't a high draft pick, and the Browns had already selected another quarterback, Dillon Gabriel, 2 rounds earlier. This detail alone suggests that Cleveland's front office never saw Sanders as the unquestioned heir to the quarterback throne. Rather, picking Sanders late was a calculated move to secure a talented player who could develop over time, without the pressure of immediate expectations. This subtle distinction is essential for understanding what the Browns' intentions might be, and sets the tone for the realities that Sanders and the fans are likely facing. As the 2025 season approaches, training camp reports have shed more light on the Browns' approach to Sanders, and the news isn't exactly comforting for those who hoped he would be the next big thing. Immediately, Zach Jackson from The Athletic provided an update that suggests Cleveland views Sanders primarily as a developmental prospect, not someone ready to step in and take control of the offense. According to Jackson, there's zero urgency within the organization to rush Sanders into a starring role, which implies a cautious, patient approach that may frustrate fans eager for a clear successor to the quarterback position. The Browns seem willing to explore various options, both internally and externally, keeping their cards close to their chest as they navigate the quarterback carousel. The quarterback situation in Cleveland appears more uncertain than ever, with veteran Joe Flacco reportedly favored to start in Week 1 of the upcoming season. Jackson's assessment puts Flacco as the 75% favorite, leaving Kenny Pickett with a 20% chance to claim the starting job. This distribution leaves a mere 5% chance for any other outcome, which undoubtedly includes both Sanders and Gabriel. These odds send a clear message: Sanders is far from a lock to be the Browns' quarterback anytime soon. The franchise's decision to lean on veterans and existing players, rather than immediately promoting Sanders, suggests a lack of confidence in his readiness or potential at this stage. This ambiguity around Sanders' role is compounded by the fact that the Browns have another quarterback, Dillon Gabriel, who was selected earlier in the draft and likely shares those slim chances with Sanders. The presence of 2 young quarterbacks competing for limited opportunities highlights the uncertainty within the team's quarterback strategy. It's not just about Sanders struggling to prove himself, it's about a crowded field where multiple players are vying for attention and development time. The Browns' cautious stance might be a reflection of their desire to evaluate all their options carefully before committing to any single quarterback as the future of the franchise. For Browns fans hoping that Sanders was their franchise quarterback in the making, these developments might be disappointing. The lack of a clear path to starting and the indication that Cleveland could be looking elsewhere in the 2026 NFL Draft sends a worrying signal about Sanders' future with the team. The Browns' front office is known for being pragmatic and strategic, and their apparent openness to drafting another quarterback next year suggests that they don't fully believe Sanders or Gabriel alone can lead the team long-term. This reality check is important for fans to digest, as it reshapes the expectations around Sanders and the Browns' quarterback plans. The chatter about the Browns targeting a quarterback in the 2026 draft aligns with Jackson's reporting, painting a picture of a team in transition rather than one ready to settle on a young talent. The Browns appear to be keeping their options open, possibly looking for a more polished or higher upside quarterback prospect to develop alongside, or even ahead of Sanders. This strategy is not uncommon in the NFL, where teams often hedge their bets by drafting multiple quarterbacks over a few years until one emerges as the clear leader. However, for a fanbase eager for immediate clarity and leadership at the position, this ongoing uncertainty can be tough to swallow. Sanders himself faces a challenging road ahead. Being a 5th-round pick and now essentially labeled a developmental type prospect means he'll need to work harder than most to prove he deserves a spot on the Browns roster beyond the practice squad or backup role. His draft position alone tells us he wasn't viewed as a surefire starter, so the pressure to outperform expectations is immense. The Browns' lack of urgency in elevating Sanders reflects the competitive nature of the quarterback position in the NFL, where only the most prepared and talented can grab the spotlight. Sanders' journey will likely be one of patience, growth, and constant learning. Despite the tough news, this situation isn't unusual in the NFL, where many late-round Quarterbacks eventually become stars, but it requires the right environment, opportunity, and a bit of luck. The Browns' cautious approach might actually benefit Sanders in the long run, giving him time to develop without the crushing weight of immediate expectations. It's possible that, with hard work and steady improvement during training camp and practice, Sanders could elevate his standing. Yet, as things stand, the team's faith seems to rest elsewhere, and the competition remains fierce. This reality forces Sanders to either rise quickly or risk being overshadowed by other prospects and veterans. For Cleveland fans, this update serves as a reminder that the quarterback position remains unsettled and that Sanders is far from a guaranteed franchise savior. The Browns are taking a pragmatic approach, balancing veteran experience with youthful potential, but have not yet handed the keys to any one player. This leaves fans with a sense of cautious optimism mixed with uncertainty about the team's future. The narrative surrounding Sanders is not one of instant stardom, but rather a long-term project with an unclear horizon. As the 2025 season unfolds, all eyes will be on training camp battles and preseason performances to see if Sanders can seize the opportunity he's been given. Ultimately, the Browns' quarterback future remains a question mark, and Shedeur Sanders' role in it is anything but secure. The team's plans to possibly draft another quarterback in 2026, combined with their willingness to let Flacco or Pickett start, signals that Sanders is still on the outside looking in. For a fanbase hungry for a franchise quarterback, this means patience and realism are crucial. Sanders has talent and potential, but Cleveland's front office is clearly not ready to entrust the team's future to him just yet. The journey ahead for Sanders will be about perseverance and proving that he deserves a bigger stage. But for now, Browns fans should temper their expectations and brace for more quarterback uncertainty. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Micah Parsons to the Browns. The rumor mill is heating up, and NFL fans can barely keep calm. Imagine this: the Cleveland Browns, a team always looking to bolster their defense, suddenly snapping up one of the most dynamic linebackers in the league. Parsons, known for his speed, agility, and relentless pursuit, could transform the Browns' defense into a juggernaut. There's been chatter that the Browns' front office is exploring every avenue to make a splash in the upcoming trade market or free agency, and Parsons' name keeps popping up. If this happens, it wouldn't just be a player acquisition, it could signal a complete defensive overhaul. The Browns have had flashes of brilliance on defense, but Parsons could provide the missing piece to make them an intimidating force. This potential move has fans buzzing, analysts speculating, and rival teams nervously scanning the horizon. Could this be the dawn of a new Browns defensive era? The buzz around Micah Parsons joining Cleveland has a lot to do with his versatility. Parsons is not your typical linebacker, he's a hybrid, blending linebacker speed with defensive end power. This means he can pressure quarterbacks, defend against the run, and cover tight ends with ease. For a Browns defense that has struggled with consistency, Parsons would be a game changer. People close to the situation suggest the Browns see him as more than just a player. They see a cornerstone to build their defense around. Imagine a defense that doesn't just react but actively controls the game, thanks to Parsons' ability to create chaos for opposing offenses. If he lands in Cleveland, the defensive line, linebackers, and even the secondary could benefit from the pressure and disruption he brings. Rumors say the Browns coaching staff is ecstatic about the prospect of adding Parsons to their defensive scheme. Parsons' potential arrival also sparks speculation about how the Browns would adjust their defense. Known for creative defensive coordinators, the Browns could finally unleash a defense designed around Parsons' unique skill set. The talk is that he could be utilized in blitz packages more often, turning up the heat on quarterbacks week after week. Sources whisper about a shift to a more aggressive defensive philosophy, one that fits Parsons like a glove. This kind of transformation doesn't happen overnight, but the Browns appear ready to commit to it. The defense could morph into an army of relentless hunters, with Parsons leading the charge. The impact wouldn't just be felt in the stats but in the way offenses approach games against Cleveland. Rumors have rival teams planning new game strategies if Parsons really becomes a Brown. The Browns front office has reportedly been in talks with Parsons' camp, and the atmosphere feels electric. While nothing is confirmed, insiders hint that the negotiations are serious and could wrap up soon. Micah Parsons' agent is said to be very interested in Cleveland's vision for the defense, and the player himself might be intrigued by the challenge. Parsons joining the Browns wouldn't be just about money, it's about legacy. The Browns are building something special, and Parsons could be the final piece of a defensive puzzle that's been missing for years. The rumors intensify as trade deadlines and free agency windows approach, creating a perfect storm of anticipation. Fans are watching every move, every tweet, and every whisper from the Browns headquarters. The buzz is real, and if it comes true, the NFL landscape could shift dramatically. One cannot ignore how Parsons' presence could boost the entire Browns roster. His leadership on defense would be invaluable, especially to younger players hungry for guidance. Veterans and rookies alike would benefit from the intensity Parsons brings to practice and game day. The Browns might see a surge in defensive confidence, with Parsons inspiring teammates to elevate their play. This kind of cultural shift could be the difference between a good team and a championship contender. The Browns' locker room might transform into a fortress of determination and resilience, led by Parsons' fearless approach. Rumors swirl that coaching staff see him as a mentor as well as a star, someone who can unite and motivate the defense. If he joins, expect Cleveland's defensive squad to roar louder than ever. Parsons' impact on the Browns could extend beyond defense into how the team controls the game clock and tempo. By creating more turnovers and negative plays, Parsons could help the Browns' offense gain more opportunities with the ball in their hands. The synergy between defense and offense could reach new heights, making the Browns a more balanced and dangerous team overall. There's talk among insiders that this kind of dynamic could push the Browns deeper into the playoffs than ever before. The Browns have had talent before, but integrating Parsons might unlock a new level of cohesion and efficiency. If he arrives in Cleveland, expect the Browns to adopt a more aggressive, no-nonsense identity that intimidates opponents from kickoff to final whistle. The possibilities seem endless, and fans are eager for confirmation. The speculation also focuses on the Browns' defensive backfield and how Parsons' pass-rushing threat might alleviate pressure there. With Parsons rushing the quarterback and stuffing the run, the secondary could tighten up coverage without facing constant double teams. Analysts suggest this could lead to a dramatic drop in big plays allowed and boost interceptions. The Browns' secondary, which has shown potential but lacked consistency, could finally find stability. There's a sense that Parsons' presence would allow defensive backs to play more aggressively, knowing they have formidable support up front. The rumblings within league circles indicate that teams preparing to face the Browns might need to rethink their entire passing game strategy. Parsons might not only change the linebacker position, but could redefine the Browns' defense as a whole. Rumors have also reached the media about possible financial moves the Browns might make to accommodate Parsons. Bringing in a player of his caliber is no small investment, and whispers say the Browns could restructure contracts or free cap space to make room. This signals a high level of commitment from the Browns management, willing to bet big on a defensive transformation. Some insiders believe this could trigger a mini rebuild, focusing heavily on defense in the upcoming draft and free agency periods. The Browns might be sending a message to the league: defense is our priority now, and we're willing to go all in for it. The idea of a defensive army led by Parsons isn't just hype. It might be the Browns' strategic blueprint for years to come. Fans can't wait to see if the front office pulls the trigger. Lastly, the excitement around Parsons to Cleveland has sparked huge fan reactions. Social media is buzzing with speculation, fan art, and debates about how he would fit into the Browns' defense. Forums and comment sections light up with theories and what-if scenarios. Fans envision game-changing moments, sacks, forced fumbles, and crucial stops that could propel the Browns into playoff glory. The idea of Parsons donning the Browns' uniform and turning their defense into a feared army fuels hope and hype alike. Even skeptics admit that if the rumor is true, the Browns could become one of the most talked-about teams in the NFL next season. The buzz is tangible, and one thing's clear: if Micah Parsons is really headed to Cleveland, the NFL is about to witness something special unfold. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!